Welcome to Organ Apron video number 3, the digestive system. We again want to cut out all of our stencils, making sure that we note all of the proper colors. We need to cut them out of the proper colors because there are way more colors in the digestive system due to the many parts. Again, make sure you line up everything appropriately when you have the ability. Just like on this stomach, I want you to make sure that you use as little of the yellow as possible, leaving the other side for someone else. So if you have little teeny tiny pieces, throw them away. Large pieces, please keep so others can use them. You will also note that there are some lines on some of these. That means you need to put the lines on the actual organ itself, just to show you that there's different parts of it. This should be what all of your pieces look like in the end, including lines and everything else, so you know exactly what direction they are going to go. You will also notice that this right here is the esophagus. It is not going to be this long. We will have to determine how long we need it to be because everyone's body apron is a little bit different. How exactly does the digestive system fit? You need to make certain that at the end of the esophagus, we are going to have our stomach. It is shaped thusly. Please make sure you lay it right. That little end part is going to be leading into your small intestines. The small tube from your pancreas that is going to look like a tongue and go slightly under your stomach should meet up with it. Then you should lay your liver sort of like that, which means you need to then take your teeny tiny little gallbladder, which is hiding out underneath of your liver. We are going to leave a little bit of it out so that we can see it, but make sure that that bile duct, the little tubey thing, enters into the small intestines part ending at the stomach, because we want to make sure that you understand it's not going into the stomach, it is going into the small intestines. I did just make a mark so you would know that it is separate. Now we next need to lay our small intestines. We can put it right up like that to where it is going to be showing that the ducts are actually meeting in with the small intestines. Notice there are a whole bunch of lines. This is because the small intestines is actually 22 feet long, and I needed you to see that there's a whole lot in a little area. Next, we are going to be putting around the large intestines. The small intestine, it leads out into the ascending colon. You will also notice that the little thin line dangly thing, that is your appendix. It is going to go there at the bottom. We will next lay a part of the intestines across the top, this large intestines, and then this large intestines, which is your descending colon. It will completely surround your small intestines. This last piece that we are going to lay is your rectum. That is where fecal matter, poop, you might say, is stored so that we are able to poop. So where exactly is everything going to go on our body apron? First, we're going to lay our esophagus. It does come from your throat. It goes back behind your trachea, bronchus, and your heart. This is why it gives you some heartburn if acid gets back up into that esophagus. Right here, we are going to show that it is going through the diaphragm. We are going to need to cut a piece of it off because your stomach will lay right under that diaphragm, and we just want to add it in, and I wasn't sure how long certain people's aprons were, so I wanted to make sure you had enough space. So here we go. It does lay slightly to the side instead of directly in the middle. Please make sure that you staple it. How do you do that? You want to roll up the apron to where you can staple in the middle. We have now laid both the liver and the pancreas. Just want to again remind you that these things are going to overlap a little bit. It's got to do that. It should actually be really smushed together. The stomach is actually in front of the pancreas. The liver is actually on top of everything. The gallbladder is actually hiding out behind the liver. But make sure that the gallbladder duct and the duct from the pancreas goes into the small intestines. Make sure all of that fits and looks nice so it is coming out of the stomach and not part of the stomach. Again, here is your small intestines. Make sure it lays right in the middle, and surrounding that is going to be our large intestines. The first part of the large intestines does go up. That is why it is called the ascending. Next, we are going to have the transverse colon, which goes back and forth, and then going down is going to be your descending colon into your rectum where poop is stored. Now, your large intestine's main job is to get rid of water. It absorbs it back into your body. That's why poop is supposed to be dry-ish, and this is what your body apron should look like at the end. So a quick run through of our digestive system. It is going to go through our mouth and down our throat into our esophagus, which your esophagus is going to go down back behind your heart and behind your liver. Using peristalsis, all your food will end up in your stomach. Your stomach is actually going to use muscle contractions and excrete different things like different acids like hydrochloric acid in order to properly digest food, especially proteins. Next, some of our accessory organs are going to be a part of this. The liver and the pancreas are the primary accessory organs when it comes to the digestive system, meaning food does not go in them, but they are very important. The pancreas itself is going to release insulin and glucagon into the small intestines. This is what allows sugar to either be put into the blood or taken out of the blood. If there's a problem, it's called diabetes. Our liver is also very important. It is going to produce a bile that needs to be put into the digestive tract. That is going to help to digest lipids, which are your fats. Now, this bile is made by the liver but stored in the gallbladder, which will then excrete it into your small intestines. You can live without your gallbladder. It can be removed, but your belly is not going to feel good if you ate any candy for a while. Next, your food is going to go into your small intestines. It will be broken down even farther, and it will have bacteria that actually excrete certain things and help you to digest your food. All of your nutrients will then be absorbed through small little parts called villi, which are teeny tiny little extensions. Think of it sort of like an anemone living inside of your small intestines. That is what it is made of, and that is how you get most of the nutrients from the food that you eat. The food will make it through your small intestines through muscle contractions called peristalsis until it finally makes its way into your large intestine. So I also want to tell you about the appendix. It is the first thing that is going to go by in the large intestines, but the appendix is no longer used for anything. The only real thing that occurs is it gets clogged and needs to be removed so you don't die. So your food is now in your large intestines. Being in your large intestines, its primary purpose is for water removal. It will go up your ascending colon, and then after that, it will move into your transverse colon, finally into your descending colon, where water will be removed, and finally it will go into your rectum, where it will be stored until it needs to be released. We now have the heart, the basics of the respiratory system, and also your digestive system on our organ apron. If you are confused about any part, please rewatch any of the videos.
I'm in the chest, no leg. I get to move and skirt past you.